Happy first day of class, kind of. Hey, GEO 102, this is Professor Colosimo. I wanted to send you a quick video that basically talks about what we would have done on the first day. I just wanted to introduce you to the Brightspace page, show you 2 assignments that I'd like you to work on, and just give you a little idea of what to expect this semester. Historical geology might be my favorite class that I teach. It is so fun. I've put together, well, during COVID, I had to teach this completely online. So I have a lot of recordings and things like that that you'll see when you scroll through your Brightspace page. A lot of the topics that we're going to cover, you can see right in lecture topics. Some of the things are hidden as they should be, but you'll see that there are 4 different units we're going to cover. The first unit has a bunch of documents here, and this is really where we're setting up the class, talking about the history of geology and how the Earth has changed over time and how we know, and then how we're going to use sedimentary rocks a lot this semester. When we move into Unit 2, more sedimentary rocks, and then a little bit about geophysics and the Earth's interior. And then really what we start doing then is we get into the history of the Earth, and we start like at the beginning, like we start at the Big Bang, and then millions of years later, actually billions, when the Earth finally forms in the Hadean Eon. We'll talk about the Archean Eon. And then from there on, it's just like we're reading the book of the Earth. We'll talk about the Proterozoic Eon, and then we'll really start with some of the things that you began to learn about in GEO 101, which we're kind of incorporating the whole way along. We're kind of building it in and taking everything you know up a notch. We'll talk about the Paleozoic era, which in Rochester is the bedrock beneath us. We're deposited during the Paleozoic era. And we'll end the class where we'll learn about the Mesozoic era, which is the age of dinosaurs or reptiles, the Cenozoic era, which is the age of mammals, and then we'll have a final exam. So that's what we'll be doing in lecture on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And then on Monday afternoons, we will meet for lab. And you'll see that some of these topics look a little familiar. And that's, again, because we're starting with what we knew in GEO 101. We're remembering those concepts, and then we're building on them in historical geology. So the rock cycle, definitely something we talked about a lot in 101. Relative time, which one of these rocks is oldest, which one is youngest. We'll be doing that. And then we'll be doing some age dating calculations using a fun little formula to figure out the age that different events occurred in geologic time. And that'll be our first lab of the semester next Monday. Then we'll do some sedimentary rocks, and then you'll see there's a big gap here. You'll see the whole schedule. Also, when you take a little practice quiz, you'll see the schedule. But we'll do a ton on fossils and sedimentary structures, and then like the whole focus of our lab will completely change, and we'll be looking at interpreting the history of the Earth. You will be looking at some sand samples. You will come to find that sand samples are awesome. And then we'll have a couple labs on structural geology. You learned about structural geology in 101 when you were doing like anticlines and synclines and faults. We'll have 2 weeks of lab on structural geology. So cool. And then we'll start to dig into the details of how scientists learn about like temperatures in the past. And that's through using something called climate proxies. There's a ton of climate proxies. You will learn about one towards the end of the semester. We'll also take 2 field trips. The first one will be to see the bedrock of Rochester. So we'll be going to a place called Lower Falls, which is super fun. And then we'll also be the very last day of class, we will just go out and collect fossils, and it is super duper fun. Because we're not meeting today, developed a couple things for you to do. So I'm going to send this to you in an email, but if you go into Intro to Historical Geology and open this folder, you'll see a lot of things that you'll actually you'll discuss in there. Actually, I lied to you. When you first go to the table of contents, where did this go? Oh my gosh, I put in a quiz here for you to like look through the syllabus. I thought it was in lecture content, no? I'll find it for you and send you a direct link to it. There is a quiz in here that you will be doing for like a Welcome to GEO 101 quiz. I know it's here somewhere. I'm going to... Okay, I see what I did. I hadn't made it available yet. So now if you go into, lecture content, the very first thing you'll see at the top is Welcome to GEO 102. This is a quiz where you'll look through your syllabus and you'll make sure that you know all the important stuff is in GEO 102. So you're in lieu of class today, I'd like you to take this quiz, and this is going to be due on Monday. And the second thing I'd like you to do, which is not due until next Wednesday, is I want you to see what some of like summer internships look like in geology. I've had a few students get some really great summer internships, and I just want you to browse through them and see if there's anything that looks cool for you. So this is a quiz that basically you look through some internships, you tell me if any of them seem cool to you, and that's the end of it. I really just want you to get comfortable tooling around in Brightspace and seeing what there is. And if anything else, I want you to know that you can always come to me with questions. I love to support students however I can, and historical is like a really important class for me. You guys are like the reason I'm on campus. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and I really look forward to seeing you on Friday.